Another day has arrived, and we are still in the same place of disarray. Hope is in the distance. I can see a tiny glimpse of light, just a tiny, tiny light. It is there, I know it. I can feel it in my heart. I have prayed for it for oh so long. I know that it is coming our way. Tomorrow may not arrive. Yesterday has gone, but this I know. Today is gonna turn out just right. Colonel Chris is a ray of sunshine. He has arrived just in time to keep that tiny light in the horizon still burning bright. Our prayers are being answered, so don't despair. Someone we can trust, which has been a long time coming when our hopes were shattered. He is that tiny bright light in the distance. Tomorrow may not arrive. I can feel it in my heart. I have prayed for it for oh so long. I know that it is coming our way. Tomorrow may not arrive. Yesterday has gone, but this I know. Today is gonna turn out just right. Colonel Chris is a ray of sunshine. He has arrived just in time to keep that tiny light in the horizon still burning bright. Our Colonel Chris is a ray of sunshine. He has arrived just in time to keep that tiny light in the horizon still burning bright. Our prayers are being answered, so don't despair. Someone we can trust, which has been a long time coming when our hopes were shattered. He is that tiny bright light in the distance.
There you go. Well, if that doesn't get in the mood, this will. Keep smiling. Oh, yeah.
When the rain comes down, it don't mean drown. Just grab your boots and dance around. A little mud and hurt us so. It's how we grow, yeah, it's how we roll. The sun's hiding, but it ain't gone. Keep your heart turned on, turned on. Keep smiling, keep shining when the storm tries to steal your song. Keep smiling, keep climbing till the dark clouds that don't belong. Oh, misery won't stay where joy is strong. Oh, misery won't stay where joy is strong. Creeping, saying you can't win. Just shout louder, drown them out again. Turn the doubts into your fire. Every stumble builds something higher. When shadows linger, light your spark. Don't let them pull you into the dark. Keep smiling, keep shining when the storm tries to steal your song. Keep smiling, keep climbing, tell the dark clouds that don't belong. Oh, misery won't stay where joy is strong. Oh, misery won't stay where joy is strong.
Oh yeah, keep smiling. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning for those in South Africa, Europe, and points further to the east. It's 11 o'clock on the east coast of the United States, 10 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Mountain, and 8 o'clock on the Pacific Coast, a little bit early out in Alaska and Hawaii. Welcome back to the program, folks. Good to see you all once again on this Wednesday night, a long, knackering day for me, as always. Radio program ended just a couple hours ago, and I've spent the last 2 hours planted in this seat answering emails from people concerned about things, particularly refugee program, not exclusively. We've linked up another family with food socks so they don't go hungry, and that's where we're at now. So, unfortunately, I had to give some people some bad news because they're hoping beyond hope that they can qualify for a program, but you can't. If you're not a South African citizen or national, you don't qualify for this program. Doesn't matter that you live in South Africa, you're being persecuted. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, but that's not how it works. This should come Sense Service podcast tonight for the first time. It's very good. Well, thank you, Alex. Appreciate that. Thank you for being there. It's not a podcast. It's a radio program. We're on the radio. We broadcast out of Nashua, New Hampshire on AM and FM radio, 95.3 and 1590 AM. And then we just carry it on the internet globally. So it's not a podcast. That's a radio program. Not quite the quality of Rush Limbaugh, but it's there. Karen Long, welcome to you. It looks like your cats are messing with you again. Angelique, Dogzilla, let me send my thanks to you very quickly. I want to thank you for your donation to help Charles von Onselen out. Charles is the voice of reason on our channel, and we want to appreciate that. So I want to give a shout out to Dogzilla, who didn't ask for any notoriety, but Dogzilla gave a $100 donation to that fund, or somebody did on your behalf, calling him Dogzilla, but I think that was you. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. Charles is a very good guy. He's meant a lot for everybody. And so, yeah, 9,784 after just a couple of days of trying to get it. We had 21 donations. Mitten just gave $100 to. Oh my goodness, I didn't see that. Wow, Mitten, well done. Mitten, thank you as well if you're here. Wow. Karen Long gave something last night. Merlot, Sparkles, Philip Holtz, Anonymous, Jeanette Buchner, Nick Groves, I'm pretty sure that is, the Wyatt Army, Loretta, Dogzilla, there's the $100 from him. Bitter Ender, Steve gave 200, Anonymous, 100 Anonymous, Amanda Larson gave 1,000, Gordon gave 200, Chris Baker gave 200, Anonymous 500, I gave 1,000, and Momo gave 200. There's a few more, one more for that, I think. So I think maybe, no, Momo was the last one, I think. Or was it? Let's see. I think it was the last one, wasn't it? I think that was the last one. Oh, no, Anonymous. Okay. How did those get in before me? I thought it was the first, and then two of them beat me in there. Anyway, almost 10,000 Rand to help Charles out. That's a start, folks. That's a start. So if you want to help the back of Buddy for Charles, I know there aren't many people here right now, but this is because his medical coverage, contrary to what the Sunnyside detective tells everybody, that's free health care and it's wonderful in South Africa, utter nonsense. This is a municipal employee, retired, from the city of Durban who spent his career helping the citizens and residents of the dirt bin there, and he doesn't have full medical coverage. This is a tragedy of that proportion. So if you want us to help that, thank you, Rhino Girl, for the dinars. Appreciate that, 100 dinars. Thank you very much for that. I do appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Thank you for that. Wow, that's awesome. Really do appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. That's a good super chat. Get us started here. Yep. So who else got there? Courtney says, good evening from Salt Lake City. Courtney, I have news for you. Potentially a refugee family may be coming to Salt Lake City. That's all I can say. If I find out more information, I'll let you know if it gets confirmed. But they're held up by the shutdown right now, the government shutdown. So they may be coming there very soon. Once the thing is over, the Democrats capitulate, hopefully, and then they'll get over there. But I'll let you know if they're coming in case you want to take a look and say hello to them. Utah Mammoth, folks, established in 2024, National Hockey League team. Yeah, there you go. My kind of stuff. All right, so Philip Holtz is here. Arctic, hey, Arctic, what's going on, man? Arctic, hey, this one's for you, brother. This one's for you. All right, so there you go. This is for you. Arctic's going to be like, hey, Chris, how you doing? Day 2, day 5, day 7. Are you going to make it? Day 12 when it comes time after the election in November. Kathy Price, hello to you. Fonz. Hey, Fonz. Chantel Fenter. Momo Phoenix. Mitten. Karen Long. Amanda Lowe. Who else I missed here? There's Dogzilla. And Alex is in Ohio. Okay. Yeah, Alex, you're not getting notifications. You should have got notification for this because this was posted 40-some minutes before the stream. So when you post a video for a live stream and it's 30 minutes prior, people are supposed to get notified. They get notified at the 30-minute point. So if you're inside that 30-minute window, notifications don't go out. So if you didn't get notification, it's YouTube acting up again. Kathy Friedenberg is, yeah, it's the newest song, but it's not new. We made that not last night. I didn't do a show last night, the night before. Yep. I was too knackered last night after everything. Sunshine in your pocket. That's a good one. Okay. Chantel says, Chris is so sweet. Well, that's because I eat all the sugar, man. That's why I'm so sweet. Wide awake, smiling, and bopping to the music, says Karen. Mandy von Roy. Only 25 likes. Yeah, no, we have a hard time getting likes sometimes. It's just, you got to milk it out of people. It's like milking a goat. It's not fun. Denise Bellingham, welcome to you. Chantel. Oh, Sedgefield's back. Bloodcup, Werner Kurtze, welcome to you. Listen to your common sense. Okay. Gary. We would love to have some more South Africans here in the Utah Warriors rugby team. Well, I don't know if they're bringing rugby players for you, but they will be South African. Once again, thank you for the super chat, Rhino Girl. Xavier Grayling is back. And then Rebecca's here. Hello, Rebecca. I watched Tucker Carlson, but I was intrigued by the title, Code Whistleblower. Yeah, and somebody asked me about it. I haven't seen it, so, I don't know. Can't comment unless I know more about it. Someone asked about it earlier today, but I haven't seen it. So CB's here. Welcome, CB. How's it going? All right. So, folks, I got to start keeping track of the people that were helping with the accommodation with food socks because I need to know. So that's on me. I started keeping notes on that tonight because it's starting to turn into a wide army of people needing help. So also I'm trialing this. Let me hang on a second here. Okay, people have tried to tell me that I should do something and start it on, where the hell is it at? Come on, why is it not there? Tell me that I should start a not-for-profit organization that helps people. Well, I've thought this over a long time. I'm not saying I'm starting it, but I'm considering the following. Tell me if I've got the name right. I don't want to get the name wrong. So, my Afrikaans isn't perfect. So here is what I'm considering. Okay, tell me if that's correct. Okay, tell me if that's the right name for it, or if I should give it a different name in Afrikaans. Not going to make 30 days, but at least you'll feel a bit less. Oh, I'll make 30 days, brother. I've gone without Coca-Cola and M&Ms and sugar for 30 days for Ramadan. I habitually stopped drinking Coca-Cola for a month, 2 months, 3 months at a time just because I get tired of it. I have stopped drinking these Frappuccinos on trips. Just done it. So, yep. Yeah, I thought maybe Help Makar, but I want Relief Society. Does that translate as Relief Society? Well, Arctic, I'm not going to be stuck behind the PC anymore. Even if I can't walk, I'm going to be doing sit-ups and leg presses and things like that to strengthen that, and I will be doing that. No what? Yeah, that's what I thought. So, I mean, is it good what I have or what? Stop drinking Coke because I cannot be less white. Anyway. Yeah, that's what I thought. So help my car's not going to work. Yeah. So mine will work, right? Okay. Well, I mean, AfriFour may have good programs, but to my knowledge, nobody on the planet is helping South Africans who were stranded by the government shutdown. Name somebody. I mean, Carl from Black from Food Socks is helping, and a few of my viewers. But I mean, no one reached out to start anything to help anybody. Only I did that, to my knowledge. Not boasting, just stating a fact. Yeah, that'll work. Thanks, Arctic. Appreciate that. Yeah, I don't want to help my car. I know there used to be a town called that. Yeah. No one else is doing it. No one. These people were just left. The U.S. government didn't do anything. Not that it's expected to. No relief agencies. No social organizations in South Africa helping these people. Nobody. How do we help expat families, Joubert? Well, I've got to get this thing started. Right now, it's been kostenlos for us. It's been no cost, which is fantastic because we have generous people. I've already put 2 or 3 families into accommodation, temporary accommodation, and we've helped 4 families with food so far. At some point, it will become a burden for Food Socks to be able to, if we keep getting people. But this is not a feed program for everybody. We'll see where it goes from here. But it's not right now. It's to help the people who are in a real bind because they got sent to Joburg or Pretoria and told they were flying out the 26th, the 27th, 28th, 29th, something like that, and boom, it just stopped. By the way, I got confirmation today that someone was supposed to fly on the 26th and their flight was canceled. So it wasn't just the 29th when it started. It obviously started before that, and the 26th people couldn't fly. Dirk, you're right. Minority relief. Yeah, well, we should call it Afrikaner minority then. Yeah, you're right. That's fine. But if we call it Minority Relief Fund, it's not going to make any sense. It's got to have some tie to South Africa, and it's got to have some. So if someone can come up with the term Afrikaner and Minority Relief Society or Relief Fund, that's what I call it, Relief Society. Isn't that what I called it? What the hell did I call it now? Now I'm drawing a blank what I called it. Yeah, we can put both those in there, but that's what I need, okay? What the heck? Something's not right here. That's not what I was at in my WhatsApp. Come back here. Yeah, Relief Society. Yeah, we call it. Yeah, Work for Solidarity. Foreign food problems is full. There's a waiting list to get assistance. The news on the government shutdown is the Democrats, for the 12th time today, rejected the bill. It was 54-44 was the final vote. People not voting, a couple people. So that's 2 people not voting. Yeah, they did it again. So they're about to tie the record for the crap they pulled when when Biden was the president. They didn't pass budgets. They just passed continuing resolutions, and they came with a flat spending bill. We won't increase anything. Here it is until we get the next budget. They did that 13 times when Biden was president. In 4 years, 13 times the Democrats voted for a flat bill to continue spending levels and not increasing it. Now that they're in the minority, when Republicans voted with them to keep the spending going so the government wouldn't shut down during the Biden years, now 12 times they have said no to the same thing they said yes to 13 times for 4 years. 12 times for one bill. And here's the thing. The minority whip in the Democratic caucus from Massachusetts, an evil, vile Democratic member of the House of Representatives, said that this is our only leverage. This is our leverage to get what we want. She admitted that they're going to let people suffer, people on food stamps, veterans, military, people on social care will not get the resources they need because the Democrats feel they have leverage to get something that they want. They don't care about the American people. They don't care. The Republicans have been hoodwinked into voting for this nonsense in the past because they care. And the Democrats crow about a big victory. Now the Democrats don't care about people. They don't care. What do I think Democrats try and achieve with this? They're trying to get the Republicans to cave because the Republicans always cave. They always cave. George Bush, read my lips. No new taxes. No new taxes. What do? He raised taxes in a compromise with the Democrats. Democrats used it to defeat him in 1992. Yeah, the Democrats have never cared. Now we see it. But they still play like they care. They don't care. They don't give 2 shakes of a cat's tail. They're holding this country hostage. Absolutely. Look, I'm not losing any sleep over it. It does affect me. I will not get paid next week. And I got big credit card bills for my trip to England still haven't been paid. And then my last trip. Yep. So I have to shuffle money around again. But the important thing, the mortgage is paid for. Took care of that already. Took care of it early. So it just drained my bank account. So it's a lot smaller now because, in fact, I haven't looked at my bank account since paid that. But I know it got paid because I went to my mortgage site and it was applied. So, yeah. Les Miserables. I think Trump will hold his ground and not be bullied into submission. A nephew of mine travels every day for an hour each way from the farm to his school. And he's elected class president. Okay. Congratulations. Just a bit of info after answer roads now. What? How do you know that, Ronell? Tell me your source information on that. Where do you hear that they're after answer roads? Because I actually know something about that. I want to know where you heard it before I say anything. Because I don't know if what I have is privileged information. But if you heard it publicly somewhere, then I need to know that. By the way, I like my hair like this. It looks really California-like, doesn't it? You know, kind of surfer-like. You know, the little, yeah, looks kind of Rob Herself-like, except you know it's silver. Blame people's lives. Some Americans are still blaming Trump and Randy. Yeah, it's because they're morons. They're absolute morons. They don't understand how the government works. Thank you, Chantal. I thought so too. Well, Alex, that would be for some states. It's not everywhere. States determine what these things are, and because some states contribute to the subsidy. But that story, I closed that story. That was on, where was that on? Is it on Epic Times? Where did I find the story? I already got rid of it. Oh, here it is. No, it's NBC. I'm sorry. So let me read this story to you exactly. It doesn't tell me where these people are at. So that's the problem. I was trying to find where these people are at. So Ginny Murray and her husband Chaz are out of options for health insurance. In January, their premiums are expected to rise higher than they've ever gone before, putting the cost out of reach. Oh, they're in Arkansas. The Arkansas couple plan to drop their health care coverage, betting their savings will be enough if unexpected illness strikes. Our plan is to keep putting the money we're already paying towards health care in savings and really just hoping that we don't have a stroke or that we don't have a heart attack. Okay, well then why don't you be healthy and then you won't have those problems. So for Murray, 48, the math simply doesn't work. As a truck driver, she was injured in a work accident 2.5 years ago and is still receiving workers' compensation, unable to work full time. Well, that seems suspicious after 2.5 years. If you aren't able to work after 2.5 years, you're never going to work again. So maybe you need to find a different line of work where you can actually work without being a truck driver. Her husband, also a truck driver, continues to drive as an independent owner-operator. The couple's monthly premium is $1,500 for health insurance, courtesy of the Unaffordable Care Act. But with the subsidies taken out of my pocket and other people's pockets, she only pays $450. So we foot $1,050 of her health insurance per month. So they get a benefit of over $12,000 a year from the taxpayers. Also, though, I'll bet they don't pay much in the way of taxes. But the state regulators approved a 26% rate increase for their insurer, which means their premiums will rise by at least $400 next year. So that's in Arkansas. So they pay $450 now, regardless of whether the Affordable Care Act is renewed or the subsidies are continued in some way. She's going to be paying $850. Now that cost will triple if the subsidies disappear. Choosing to go uninsured isn't new. Before the Unaffordable Care Act became law in 2010, destroying America, millions of Americans made similar choices. From 2010 to 2023, the rate of people going uninsured fell from 16%, or 48 million people, to 7.7%. So even with the Unaffordable Care Act in place, 7.7% of Americans still had no health insurance. I thought we were supposed to all have health insurance. What a scam. What an Obama communist scam this was. And I said so at the time. According to data from the Center for Budget and Policy Priorities, a nonpartisan research group, meanwhile, enrollment in the ACA plans has grown from 8 million people to a record 24 million people in 2025. So you're telling me that we're probably paying $1,000 a month for a couple for 24 million people? Yeah, I bet some states it's less, some states it's more. Like California, New York, probably much more than that. So $1,000 times 24.3 million people equals $24.3 billion a month. Yeah. Is that right? That can't be right. That's a lot. Yeah, $24 billion a month. Yeah. Times 12 months equals $291.6 billion per year to subsidize other people's health care coming out of our pockets. You wonder why this country's in trouble. You wonder why this country's in trouble. He made a video yesterday, mentioned that Cockpot wants him to publicly apologize. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I do know. Yeah, no, they're threatening him. They can go screw themselves. They have been overturned by the press ombudsman so many times. He has nothing to apologize for. He gave his opinion. You can't sue people for opinions. If they slander you, that's one thing. We didn't slander anybody. Coproc 24 is guilty of the things that they're attacking him for. So, they're not the first people. Folks, I was threatened by a major politician in South Africa when I was there last time. I was threatened for accurate reporting the news because it exposed something that this politician was doing that politician didn't want people to know about. And I exposed them, and they threatened me. I have the screenshots. A whole bunch of threats. Yep, a whole bunch of threats. So this isn't new. This is the MO for politicians and media houses in South Africa. When you are getting it right, they threaten you. If you're no threat to them by, then no one pays attention to you, then they don't care. Oh, okay, I had to put your glasses on, Sumer. Thank you for explaining, Conrad. Okay. What did Mandela say? Okay. Kyle Watkins, what's on? Well, it's not whether Trump holds his ground. He'd have to veto it and look bad. It's whether they hold it. Circle of shelter. Oh, Inn of Hope. That's Stan Sam. Oh, that's it. I'll call it Stan Sam South Africa. Stan Sam South Africa. Minority Relief Society. How's that? Yeah, that sounds a little too technical, Xavier. SAMSNS. That's a good one, but it sounds a little too... So I think that's going to be it. Stan Sam. Stan Sam South Africa Minority Relief Society. I think that's the one. Ladies and gentlemen. I'm loving it. Let me see. I think that's the one. We're going to go with something. Do I got it right? Stan Sam, or is it Sam Stan? Yeah, Sam Stan. I got it right. Cool. Kathy she's got some creative juices there. She always comes up with some cool stuff. Okay, cool. Yeah, Stan Sam South Africa. Okay. 2 words, not one. Yeah, Stan Sam, that's what I want to say. So if I say Stan Sam, that's good, right? You guys correct my Afrikaans if I got it wrong. I'm not an expert. Yeah, I know it means stand together. Stan. Okay, which is it? Sam Stan or Stan Sam? I thought it was Stan Sam, stand together. Not together stand. Come on, which is it? I like Stan Sam. As long as it's Stan Sam and I'm okay with that, then I'll go with that. Okay, there we go. Stan Sam South Africa. Minority Relief. There you go. Got it. Okay, got it. Stan Sam South Africa Minority Relief Society. Got it, man. That's what we're going to go with, okay? Cool. Cool. Hey, Dan Bailey, what's going on, man? Here's a cowboy for you. What's going on out there in Wyoming, man? What a cool place. I was just there. I'm already missing Star Valley. I'm not missing the snow. Apparently 2 feet of snow fell after I left. I was there at the right time. Well, the quaking aspen were turning yellow, and the leaves, and the beautiful, and the weather was just right. And then I left, and 2 feet of snow fell. At least that's what I heard. You gotta love it. All right, folks, there's some news tonight. I'll actually talk about some news. Thanks to the 108 people here. Oh, we're down from 145. What's going on there? Because I didn't do a show. What's wrong with the sound? Nothing wrong with the sound, man. I can hear myself. What's wrong with the sound? Nothing wrong with the sound, man. There's nothing wrong with the sound. What are you talking about? What you talking about, Willis? Good morning, Eugene DeVette. I was wondering if I can email you privately. Have a pressing matter. Why not, Eugene? Join the queue of 50,000 people that have written to me. I will say that I actually I actually burned a couple hours tonight and got through a lot of recent messages in that account. People are still sending messages to my private account, which I haven't shared. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not answering questions there, so keep sending it. You'll keep getting no answers. I don't have time for that. By the way, YouTube had its 20th anniversary, and I've been with YouTube since 19 plus years, so not almost since the beginning. They offered a free T-shirt to certain creators, and they sent it to me, and I had no code. They'd sent me a code back in June, and there was no mention of a code, nowhere to put in. So anyway, I missed out on the T-shirt, so I'll be getting a poster. Also getting like one of those little, what do they call those things? It's a clapper board. Action. I'll get one for YouTube. That's coming. They had 2,400 of them. I requested. So I'm getting my 20th anniversary treat, my limited edition clapper board, and I get a free Subway sandwich. You're going to shave in Movember. I don't know, Joey. Probably. Thinking about it. Both words are in Afrikaans. I know it means, yeah, but it stands first if it is two words. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. 2 words. I prefer that. Yep. Sansam. Okay, but I can put all caps. It's a proper name, right? Stansam, South Africa. Anyway, greetings to you, Charles Van Onselen. Charles, your Backa buddy is up to 9,784 Rand. How do you get to 84 Rand? That's an odd figure. Did somebody give I don't see where somebody gave an odd number. How did they must have, I know it is. Someone, they took it out of what their donation was probably. Okay, that's probably what happened there. Wowzer. Yeah, I know, man. Yeah. Yeah, no, we have a Father Christmas already decided for the Veterans Place, so that's taken care of. They found someone. Jules, what's going on? Nothing much. You did miss some of the first winter. Always welcome. Well, thank you, Dan. And of course, I love Wyoming, and not just out west. I also love Cheyenne. I love what's the name of the mountain range out there? I'm drawing a blank now. Damn it. I want to say the goats. It's not the goats. What is the damn name of that? I have to look and see. I think it's up near Sheridan is what I'm talking about. Hang on a second here. I'll zoom out. Okay, I want a map. I don't want that crap. Okay, here we go. Get me over to Wyoming. There's Nebraska. Screw that. Yeah, Sheridan, out by Sheridan. Bighorn National Forest. Yeah, thank you. Bighorn, yeah. No, Wind River I like too, Dan. That's that. We were out there. Wind River, that's awesome. But I even like it out in Sheridan, when you go up to Bighorn National Forest, that's awesome. I remember when I was out there in 1989 and driving up the road and you start to go up the mountain into the Bighorns, there was a deuce and a half, a National Guard deuce and a half out there in front of me. I passed it going up the mountain. Yeah, Bighorns up by Sheridan. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I like that. You go up in Bighorn National Forest. That's pretty awesome. You go through Burgess Junction. Yeah, I went up on Route 14. That's what I'm talking about. You get the switchbacks there. That is an incredible drive. That is an absolutely incredible drive. Love that. And then I went through there and I went across to, I went to Cody. Yeah, from there I went to Cody and then over to Yellowstone. Yeah. Been to Devil's Tower too. I love Devil's Tower. It's pretty cool. Yep. Anyway, Wyoming, man, awesome place. See, some people can't help themselves but troll. See that? Trolling's already started. Let's just ignore it. Anyway, a simple way to elevate your content. People, once you get yourself to 100,000 subscribers, you get inundated with all these things because the 100,000 subscribers is a unique category. You're in rarefied air. I mean, I don't feel like I'm a rarefied air, but on YouTube as a content creator, 100,000 subscribers means you're in the 1%. Yep. Anyone else? You guys always hit with wonky internet lately because of the DNS server. I think that's because Amazon. There's probably some residual problems with that. They have problems. Devil's Tower I made out of mashed potatoes. Well, it must be pretty solid by now. No, Devil's Tower is pretty cool, man. Devil's Tower is awesome. Yeah, I love going there. Devil's Tower, Wyoming. Yeah, it's cool stuff, man. Yeah, that is really cool. Yep, been there. Done that. Yeah, I came over from the Black Hills area. Went saw Mount Rushmore and then Crazy Horse, and then went to Devil's Tower and across to Gillette, Buffalo. I've been to Buffalo, Wyoming a couple times, man. That's where I stayed overnight when I came back from Fort Lewis. I drove from Fort Lewis, Washington to Buffalo, Wyoming in one day. Folks, that's 1/3 of the country almost, or at least a quarter of the country. That is crazy. From that's 1,300, 12 or 1,300 miles. It was crazy in one day. That was a long day. I drove for like 18 hours. But I was in a hurry to get back to Ames, Iowa. So I drove back to Ames the next day, the rest of the way. Yeah, Close Encounters. That's the first time I ever heard of Devil's Tower. I watched, Close Encounters. Yep. That was something else. Yep. Close Encounters the third time. I haven't had any problems with the internet, but some people have had problems with the internet because of the Amazon web services. They really screwed up. What did Dan's message got deleted? Did you delete your message, Dan? Okay, I thought my thing was frozen. It's not frozen. Yeah, we're definitely down on subscribers tonight. We're usually about 146, 150 by now. Trade warning seems Google is under severe pressure. What is a trade warning? I don't know what that means. What are you talking about? A trade warning for what? From whom? By the way, I'm really disappointed. First off, it took almost 2 hours for that Washington Post video to publish. And then I had to change the title. And then finally, 10 minutes after change the title, it published while we were live. That's BS. And now it's really been shadow banned big time. There's no way that an article about the Washington Post about this only has 4,600 views. That's just utter nonsense. Utter nonsense. Hendrik Vesels got banned for 9 weeks because yeah, Jan Hendrik. Oh, I know. I'm getting there. Well, they didn't prove that. So I'm puzzled by that whole thing, folks. I'm really puzzled by what happened to Jan Hendrik Vesels. I've got that. 9 games. That's insane. That is the most ridiculous punishment I've ever seen. Yeah, I have that story here. A massive blow for Bucks as hooker Vesels gets a 9-match ban. And that's not good. We already now Bongi Ambanabi will be called back up. There's no way that they can go without Bongi now. Springbok Bulls hooker Jan Hendrik Vesels has been given a 9-match ban. This ban stems from an incident during the URC between the Bulls and Connacht. Connacht flanker Josh Murphy accused Vesels of grabbing him in the crotch. The Springboks have been dealt a massive blow. In the match, Connacht flanker Josh Murphy hit Vesels twice in the ruck, later telling the referee the Bulls player had grabbed him in the crotch area. Despite the TMO and referee Mike Adamson looking at replays, there was not any clear video footage to uphold his claims. Adamson sent Murphy to the bin for a 20-minute red card for striking Vesels instead. While the URC has not published its reasoning behind the ban as of yet through its official news channel, News 24 reached out to the Bulls, who confirmed the 9-week suspension. Whether the Bulls will appeal the ban remains to be seen. He's the second-choice hooker behind Malcolm Marks and named for the 5 internationals. Not anymore. Veteran Springbok hooker Bongi Amanami is among the standby group, so he'll be drafted in the touring squad. So Bongi's back. He needed a break, but now he's going to be back. So I don't know what happened here. Why did World Rugby not say what happened here? So let me look for the disciplinary stuff here. World rankings. Yeah, we know that. Oh, my finger's starting to hurt there. I don't want to see your silly videos. I want to see news here. All news. Okay. Qualification. Nothing listed here today. 22nd of October. Nothing. Oh, here it is. Here it is. That's the 19th. So there's nothing listed today. They haven't published it. So we'll have to wait and see what they say. By the way, the final qualification tournament is coming up for the Rugby World Cup 2027 in Australia. That will be taking place in Dubai. I think that's where it's at. Yeah, Dubai. So the first round is, round 1 is 8 November. Round 2 is 13 November. And round 3 is 18 November. The best record and then the highest point total, if the records are tied, comes from this. Samoa versus Paraguay on November 8th. Jacques Burger, the former Velvicia team captain, leader, and also played a lot in the UK. Fantastic rugby player, one of the toughest guys you're ever going to see out there. Jacques Burger, who I got to see at a World Cup in 2015, which is exciting for me. He retired from international test after that. Is the national coach. He was drafted in because the emergency duty, and he's leading a team that's devastated by injuries. And then their kicker choked away a victory. They didn't win the Africa 2 seat, so they got to compete in the repage here. So Jacques and I are in contact, and Jacques responded to my message the other night and said that he'll do an interview with me, hopefully in advance of this, but maybe after each game if I'm lucky. But I know a lot of people don't care, but I care. I really support the Velviches. I'm a huge fan of theirs. So on the 8th of November, Samoa versus Paraguay and Belgium versus Namibia. And I don't know how it's going to be broadcast. I hope that World Rugby broadcasts it on their site, and if that's the case, I'll be able to cover it. On the 13th, Namibia will play Samoa. That'll be their biggest challenge in my view. Belgium plays Paraguay. And on the 18th, Namibia plays Paraguay. So I think Namibia needs to win against Belgium, big. Then they need to defeat Samoa. Doesn't even have to be a by lot. And then they beat Paraguay by a wide margin, and then they go on to the World Cup. They'll get the final slot. There's one slot left for qualification for the World Cup. Namibia's been to every World Cup since they first got into it, like 7 times ago, and so I hope they make it. I really hope they do. I've got the 2023, the 2019, and the 2015 Namibia jerseys, including the coveted red one, 2015. You're going to go to any of the rugby games in Chicago the first 4 Saturdays in November. I had not made any plans for that, but that's something to think about, Dan. England, Ireland, Scotland. Well, Ireland or Scotland would be the one. Ireland probably be the one to go. So let me take a look at that and see what the dates are in that. So hang on a second. All Blacks. Chicago 2025. Let's take a look and see. Okay. All right. So Ireland is on November 1st. Oh, crap. That's too late. I can't do that. I mean, that's just around the corner. I can't plan for that. That's a little over a week away. I mean, I don't think I can get a ticket quick enough and cheap enough. Is that it? I mean, that's the only one that's mentioned. Ireland versus the All Blacks. It's a Gallagher Cup. I didn't realize it was 1st November. I thought it was later. Well, that sucks. Well, let's see. This probably cost a fortune for these tickets. Yeah, pricing. Yeah, just give me there. Oh, yeah. $200, $747. No, I'm not going. $281. The cheapest seats are $324. Screw them. No way. That's insane. $216 is the cheapest seat I can find. 201, sorry. 201 in the corner. 189 in a corner where you can't see anything. No, I will not be there. No, I'm not paying $200 to go to a rugby game unless it's a World Cup game. No. Plus, I got to pay for a flight. That's going to be, let me see. If I went to Chicago round trip, let me just check it real quick. So, MDT to GO, Chicago flights. Let me pick the day here. So, in order to go on the 1st, I'd have to go on October. So, I can go back to October. Come on, that's not what I want. Okay, I'd probably go on Thursday, the 30th, and come back on Sunday, the 2nd. Okay, done. Let's see. Round trip. Show flights. Okay, so $300. Leaving at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's $300 round trip, and that's probably with no bag. Oh wait, no. It looks like there's one carry-on. 2 of them have no carry-ons. United doesn't even have a carry-on. What the hell for $300? So the American Airlines flight at 11:27 is $300. You get a carry-on bag, but no check bag. Yeah. Anyway, so $300. Yeah, I don't think so. So that's $300. I'll probably have to pay if I want a bag. Let's go with the 11:30 flight, okay, on Thursday. So I want a bag. So where did it go? It just disappeared. Oh, this is a return flight. Okay. Yeah, well, then you can just pay for a bag each way. So we'll come back Sunday morning, 1 p.m. to 4. Ooh, that goes to 378, 820, 835. Let's go at 835. Okay. So if I go main cabin, basic economy, I get no bag, 1 carry-on. If I check a bag, it's $80. Main cabin, $369. And I have to pay for the bag too. That's $80. So that price becomes $449. And if I want the bag for free, it's $491. So it's $30 savings. So it costs $500 to fly to Chicago. That's freaking highway robbery. No, thank you. And then I got to pay $500 for a ticket to watch the All Blacks in Ireland. I'll watch it on TV. You've told me to use it, Artie, but you haven't told me how. You haven't sent me information on how to use that. Yeah, that's right. And then a hotel. Yeah, we haven't talked about that. And then, of course, I'll buy a T-shirt or something or a game day scarf or something like that. Yeah. Plus, I won't have a way to get around, so I'm going to have to get a rental car or going to have to find some way to get around. Yeah, so. All right. Cool beans. Kyle Watkins is off to work. Okay, have a good day working. I don't know if they're playing all those other guys in Chicago. Namibia and Georgia should have their national teams in URC. Wouldn't that be cool? Except their national team, so that wouldn't work. No, I think that Georgia should be in the Six Nations along with another country. The best candidates are probably Romania or Portugal. I would say that Portugal and Georgia should be in the Six Nations. That would shake things up. Make it the Eight Nations. That would be so much more interesting. I've been arguing for Georgia to be there for a long time. That would be cool. I have a Georgia World Cup jersey. I have a Portugal World Cup jersey. That was pretty cool. Portugal's first time they've been there in ages. Anyway, so those games are coming up. The Wall Street Journal claimed that Donald Trump had authorized the use of long-range missiles by Ukraine into Russia. Trump says nope. The Wall Street Journal story on the USA's approval of Ukraine being allowed to use long-range missiles deep into Russia is fake news. The U.S. has nothing to do with those missiles, wherever they may come from, or what Ukraine does with them. Yep, and then Trump has imposed new major sanctions on Russian oil companies because Russia's acting like an ass. But let's get to some of the news that South Africans care about, especially, not just this news. All right, there we go. Okay. Public Protector finds Lesotho's crime warden irregular and unlawful. Now, this is funny because wait till I tell you the next story. The Public Protectors found the establishment and deployment of the Gauteng Crime Prevention Wardens unconstitutional. Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesotho disbanded the wardens just hours before Advocate disclosed her findings. Advocate Koleka. The public prosecutor's remedial action includes reassigning them as traffic wardens and ensuring legal compliance within 180 days. Look at that lady with the brown skirt on. Man, she's tiny, isn't she? They found establishing and deploying the controversial Gauteng crime prevention wardens to conduct policing was irregular, unlawful, and inconsistent with the Constitution. And what did we all say? It's unconstitutional from the very beginning. Yep. So, now, what happens? Check this out. The next story, same day. So that story is published at, it doesn't say what time it's published, but this story is published at 6:27 South Africa time. Gauteng's Ama Panyazi to join formal policing ranks. How? They're illegal. They'll soon be transformed into fully qualified law enforcement officers. He said the process to integrate them was underway. The group, is this fake news? The group, which has been operating under provincial government, will be phased into the traffic police. Okay. That's how, okay. So look at this. They make it like they're still there, like they're going to be around. One report says they're illegal and they have to become traffic wardens. The next report says they're going to be formal police. Yes, he wanted to create jobs. That's what it was. I've seen the traffic wardens, hundreds of them, almost outnumbering customers as they hang around in the Sandton City Mall. It's ludicrous. Oh my goodness. Crazy stuff, huh? Well, a parliamentary inquiry allows members of parliament to question the Pala Pala report. Whoa. Is Cyril on shaky ground? Don't hold your breath, but hey. Yeah, instead of fixing the police, you create a false law enforcement department which don't have the authority to do anything the police can do. Yep. So, parliamentarians will not be out of sync when they ask questions about the classified report of the Independent Police Investigation Directorate into Pala Pala at the parliamentary inquiry that is probing allegations of corruption and political interference in the criminal justice system. This was the word from the ad hoc committee chairperson, Soviet Ganyane, Soviet, when there was a heated exchange amid body shaming, sarcasm, and harsh words among members of the committee. What do they call people fat or what's going on? Pala Pala, man. It's still there. Pala Pala. It hasn't gone away. We're still dealing with Pala Pala, ladies and gentlemen. And we should be. This is something that should be exposed. This is absolute ridiculous that this guy gets away with this stuff and there's no consequences. This idiotic parliamentary finding of nothing wrong was no ethics violations, which is ludicrous of its own right. It was not a finding of innocence in a criminal court or of any wrongdoing, simply that he didn't violate the ethics of the parliament. But given how corrupt members of parliament are, that's easy to see how he didn't violate it, because the standards are pretty low. The standards of parliament in South Africa are very low. So, I mean, yeah, I suppose he didn't violate them. But we all know what this is about. Minir Pala Pala. Cyril Ramaphosa. We have a song for all occasions when it comes to South Africa. And this is Pala Pala Nights, brought to you by DJ Silver Eagle.
Money stuffed in my sofa, a treasure untold. Shira's got her game ranch, stories unfold. Pala Pala, ritzy joint, glimmer and gold. Stay overnight, don't you stray. Couch cushions hide a rainy day. Pala Pala, where the secrets play. Under the cushions, the cash will stay. Pala Pala, don't give it away. Rainy day, rainy day. Hey. Antelope run where the moonlight beams, luxury whispers in velvet dreams. Sarah laughs, but nothing's as it seems. Game of chance or a clever scheme, hidden fortune stitched in the seam. You'll never know till you're caught in the stream. Pala Pala, where the secrets play. Under the cushions, the cash will stay. Pala Pala, don't give it away. Rainy day, rainy day. Pala Pala, where the secrets play. Under the cushions, the cash will stay. Pala Pala, don't give it away. Rainy day, rainy day. Hey.
Pala Pala Nights, folks. DJ Silver Eagle. Cyril, where's the money? Tell me, brother, where'd you put it? Did you invest it in Big Macs? Come on, Hamburglar. Hamburglar Ramaphosa. Cyril the Hamburglar. The Hamburglar! You see the time, McDonald's, Cyril Ramaphosa, the Hamburglar. Someone here saying the price of cars and items bought by the thieves exceed the amount of money that was reported stolen. I don't know about that. No. They stole $580,000 in U.S. currency. A currency violation, a customs violation, a SARS violation, South African Revenue Service. 3 crimes at a minimum. Never mind the purported torture, the perversion of justice, the lying by the South African Police Service claiming that no VIP residence had been broken into during that 12-month period. Lies, 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 lies. Getting high on the poop smell. It's the Hamburglar Ramaphosa. Angelique, you're going to email if you... Why not, Angelique? Everyone else is emailing. Sure, feel free. Feel free. No worries. Pala Pala hasn't gone away, folks. We've already talked about the Jan Hedrick Vesels. That's brutal. Chaos at Milnerton High as police use stun guns. And look who is out there. As Ronaldo said, look at all the protesters. Look at those fit, trim, healthy people. Looks to me like they're starving to death. Boy, they just don't have any money, do they? Protesters, including parents and political organizations, clashed with police outside Milnerton. Police resorted to using stun grenades to disperse the crowd. Good. Police fired stun grenades at parents and political organizations protesting. Outraged parents gathered to demand a meeting with the principal after video showed a vicious beating of a 10th grade pupil. Was the pupil black? I'm starting to guess that's what the deal is. Look, these people are dangerous. They have no business being there, threatening the safety of children. At 4:30, the crowd was still there. Well, I don't know who the kids were, but their lives are over. Just because they're accused. Whether they did or not, their lives are over. Of course, it's EFF. You see the red shirts? Huh? Examining eggs and poop in the lab, and here I am again. What are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about Sue Maria. I wasn't examining anything. An independent inquiry now into the Inganyoma Trust. Ooh, the Zulus. More corruption. A tense Parliament Portfolio Committee meeting on land reform and rural development in Parliament, Minister Mzwanele Nyonso outlined interventions and an independent inquiry to resolve a breakdown in governance at the Inganyoma Trust Board. The board was formed under KZN Inganyoma Trust Act of 1994 as custodian of 2.8 million hectares of land across the province, but its role has come under increasing scrutiny, particularly related to its poor performance. So not corruption, but incompetence. Ladies and gentlemen, according to a poll, the majority of Americans support a Palestinian state recognition. Nearly 60% of Americans now support recognition, split between 41% Republicans and 80% Democrats, according to a poll. Well, it's official. America, half the population is stupid. I didn't realize it was that bad. American disapproval has risen sharply since October 7, with support plunging from 47% to just 34%. Yep. That's unfortunate. A lot more dumb people in this country than I realized. Yeah, they're not fighting a battle against hunger. They're hungry, hungry hippos. I love the hamburger. Love the music. Yeah, I got to make a Hamburglar song. Except I got to be careful. McDonald's might come after me for that one. Is that legal for minors? Is what? No, their pictures aren't in the paper. I didn't see any pictures of minors in there. What are you talking about? No, there's no minors in there. These are not minors. These are adults. There's no kids in that picture. You can put kids' pictures in the paper. Absolutely. We have them in the paper every day. Sporting events, school photos, bus trips. You sound like you're in the UK, man. Those people are terrified of putting pictures of kids up. Maze wants to know, Charles, how's your end holding up? We're not laughing at you, Charles. We're just trying to get people to donate money, man. Charles is bum hurt, folks. You got to help him out. Don't know the story of the kids. I only hear Ronaldo mentioning it and one kid in the Springbok rugby player. And some EFF videos, but yeah. Yeah, same story, different day, yep. Oh, their pictures on social. Well, that's immoral. That's immoral. I think that's actually illegal. If it's a legal case, that's illegal. Yep. Oh, Ireland's definitely had enough. Oil prices have dropped 18% this year. Have your petrol prices dropped 18% in South Africa? Our gasoline prices have dropped 18% here. Have yours dropped 18%? Probably not, because the government controls the price. Oil prices have fallen sharply this year as the global supply has remained strong and demand has been slow to grow. Yes, there you go. Price of oil has dropped to some of its lowest levels of the year, making it less expensive for Americans to fuel their cars, but further straining U.S. oil companies, which have been idling drilling rigs. At less than $59 a barrel, U.S. oil prices settled on Wednesday, 18% lower than they were at the end of last year. The recent slide below $60 a barrel came this month after Israel and Hamas agreed to a ceasefire. There you go. Oil is one of the few things that have become cheaper this year, providing customers a rare bit of good news on the inflation front. There you go. Cool beans. Well, the Demon Rats in the Senate have rejected the funding plan for the 12th time. This is now the second longest shutdown in history. Republicans and Democrats showed no signs of agreement. Republican-backed stopgap measure failed again to get 60 votes, 54 to 46. Also, all of them voted. Sorry, result is nearly identical to 12 previous votes from September 19th. Yep. And the U.S. has laid major sanctions on Russian oil companies. My question is, after 3 years of conflict, do we not already have these sanctions on Russian oil companies? That's crazy. The United States announced today the new sanctions on Russia. Well, yeah, 1 minute left for today. Targeting the country's two largest oil companies, Rosneft and Lukoil, to limit the Kremlin's ability to fund its war machine. We have Lukoil service stations in America last time I checked. A couple of them, like in New York, stuff like that. It's crazy. Yep. So Trump is trying to stop it. And it is now midnight, so that's yesterday's news. Although that clock is 1 minute behind. Yep. Prices have gone up. Yeah, well, the price of petrol has gone down. So why is that? Because South Africa's incompetence. The average cost of family health insurance under the Unaffordable Care Act, brought to us by the Demon Rats of Nancy Pelosi, Chucky Schumer, and Barack Hussein Obama, who promised us cheaper premiums because they were lying sacks of horse manure. Yes, that, folks, is now $27,000 a year. Higher spending on chronic diseases, weight loss drugs, and hospital bills have helped drive the increase. So there you go. So workers contribute almost nothing to this. You can see that in 2010, it was about 13,000, and now it's more than double that. This is what Obamacare brought us: double the insurance premiums. The workers paid back then $4,000. Now workers pay an average of $7,000. The employers paid an average of $10,000, and now employers pay $20,000. They've doubled it. This is Obamacare. This is what the socialist scumbags brought us in America. At the time, I railed against this garbage and said it was nonsense, it was non-workable because it didn't fix healthcare. Americans are dumb as a box of rocks, proven by the fact that 60% of people in a poll think that recognizing the Palestinian state is a good thing. That's the first problem. So here we're talking about the Affordable Care Act did make healthcare affordable. It didn't provide more doctors. It didn't provide more hospitals. It didn't build any clinics. It didn't do any research. It didn't lower the price of drugs and medications. It did not lower the cost of healthcare. All it did was jerry-rig and scam the insurance market. Insurance companies thought they're going to make out like bandits, but when they stuck in the no rejection for pre-existing conditions, they screwed the insurance industry. And so they drove up the prices. When you have to take somebody that's already suffering from cancer and it's going to cost $2 million to treat them, well, now you're bearing that burden. Times 10,000 people at $2 million, that's billions of dollars companies don't have. So they charge higher premiums. So they screwed us left and right. They screwed us left and right. The fools who believe this and the morons in Congress who signed up for the Unaffordable Care Act have driven the cost of health care up to nearly, well, more than double what it was 15 years ago. Yep. What will Republicans do to lower health insurance? It's too late, Dogzilla. It's all screwed. The only way you lower health insurance rates now is you bankrupt the insurance companies. And then the whole system collapses. You can't do it. They screwed everything. They screwed everything. The Democrats screwed everything, including putting a sunset clause in so that this thing would eclipse now. But remember, Nancy Pelosi, just vote for the bill, then read it. Remember that moron? These are the idiots we have in governance. And the Republicans that went along with it back then. Unbelievable. No, not everyone needs the government to open up. The Democrats don't need the government to open up. They're trying to kill America, and it's working. Del Marie says, Wimpy is now calling the Americano coffee Africano coffee. Idiots. The sunset cost simply needs to be extended. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Doubled the price of health insurance. Doubled it. And that doesn't even take into effect that people have higher premiums, higher copays. Well, if that's a higher premium, doesn't take into effect higher copays. I mean, I'm supposed to have free health care. I'm a disabled veteran. of 36 years, a retiree, supposed to have free health care the rest of my life. I have to pay for health insurance, and I pay copays. And I have a catastrophic cap. Now, it's far better than most Americans, but that's not the point. Got screwed by Barack Hussein Obama. Yep. Well, the left is melting down, losing their minds over the East Wing of the White House. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Yep, White House changes course and will demolish the entire East Wing. President Trump's plan to add expansive ballroom in the White House will mean demolition of the entire East Wing, which was expected to be fully torn down by this weekend. According to a senior administration official, Mr. Trump had pledged that the East Wing would not be touched by construction, one of the largest renovations of the building in decades before changes in the plans. Yep. 90,000 square foot ballroom make way for a $200 million. Now it's $300 million. Price has gone up. By the way, Senator Jeff Merkley, the idiot from Oregon, spoke for nearly a full day. He filibustered for nearly a full day. Not impressed. And then we had the vote. He's an idiot. House Republicans have now referred communist John Brennan, former CIA director. Who puts a communist? You know, we couldn't even get security clearances. Have you now or ever been a member of the Communist Party of the USA? Yes. No clearance. But Obama made a communist. John Brennan was a communist. He voted for Gus Hall. He was a communist, an American communist. Made him the director of the CIA. You can't make this stuff up. House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan is throwing former CIA Director John Brennan hat into the prosecutorial ring. He referred Brennan to the Department of Justice for criminal prosecution, claiming that he made false statements in front of Congress related to 2016 Russia collusion. And he did. He fired off a letter to Attorney General Pam Bondi outlining the lies he believes Brennan told. Well, Brennan did lie. He did lie. So let's look at the letter. Honorable Pamela J. Bondi, we write to refer significant evidence that former Director of Central Intelligence Agency John Brennan knowingly made false statements during his transcribed interview before the committee on May 11, 2023. Well, by the way, that was while when Biden was president. Brennan made numerous willfully and intentionally false statements of material fact contradicted by the record established by the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence and the CIA. Under Title 18 U.S. Code, Section 1001, a witness commits a crime if he knowingly and willfully makes any materially false statement or representation with respect to any investigation or review conducted pursuant to the authority of any committee of the Congress. Brennan falsely denied that the CIA relied on the discredited Steele dossier in drafting the Post-Election Intelligence Committee assessment. On January 6, 2017, the CIA, the FBI, and the National Security Agency published a declassified version of an Intelligence Committee assessment titled Assessing Russian Activities and Intentions in Recent U.S. Elections. The assessment said that Russia developed a clear preference for President Trump and aspired to help him win the election. This conclusion, now known to be false, was based on part on the Steele dossier, which was referenced in the assessment main body text and further detailed in a two-page annex. The Steele dossier was a series of reports containing baseless accusations concerning President Trump's ties to Russia, compiled and delivered to the FBI in 2016 by former British intelligence agent Christopher Steele. Subsequent investigations confirmed that the Clinton campaign and the Democratic National Committee paid Steele via the law firm Perkins Coie to opposition research firm Fusion GPS to provide derogatory information about Trump's purported ties to Russia, which resulted in a discredited dossier. In July 2025, the Trump administration declassified numerous documents showing that the Intelligence Committee's assessment's main findings were false and that the Obama administration knowingly fabricated the findings for the purpose of undermining the Trump administration. The newly classified evidence also confirms that Brennan falsely testified to the committee during a transcribed interview. Yep. Mr. Brennan, first off, Matt Gaetz says, all right, so the fact that DNC was providing the financing of the Steele dossier's development doesn't give you a concern that it might be partisan? Again, that was happening back in 2016. I understand how you were able to tie this to my reference to my expertise, but I don't see any relevance to the Hunter Biden laptop issue. Anyway, goes on and on. So, finding number 2, Brennan falsely testified when he told the committee that the CIA opposed including the Steele dossier. He lied about that. Finding number 3, Brennan also provided false testimony during the HPSI hearing in 2017. There you go. So, there you go. The communists will have to face the music. Long overdue. Comey, Brennan, Obama, Bruce Orr, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, all need to face the music. The Africano coffee, served cold to give you that authentic load-shedding feel. Cat and possible rebate on personal medical aid premiums. Apparently it costs ours. And yeah, no, it falls away in the National Health Insurance Initiative. Yes, many Democrats in Congress have shares in the medical insurance companies, pharmaceutical companies. Absolutely. That's true. Some Republicans, too. Illegal. Who's talking about illegal aliens? Illegal aliens are illegal criminals. No big crime. You see, people like Dogzilla would surrender our sovereignty, which we won. We fought a war. We fought a revolution for our sovereignty, the right to govern ourselves and set our own laws. People who disrespect those laws and pour across our border, invade our country, bringing measles and mumps and rubella and all kinds of other nasty diseases with them, come here illegally working, stealing Social Security numbers, stealing identities, driving down the wages by working illegally, flooding our housing market, driving up rents, sucking up low-cost housing so that people don't have options. And the people most affected by this influx of criminal alien invaders, Black Americans. Black Americans, because such a large percentage of Black Americans on the lower end of the economic scale that they get bumped out by illegal aliens who will work for less than them illegally. Yeah, bad hombres, Philip. That's right. Anyone that doesn't respect your sovereignty doesn't belong in your country and should be kicked out immediately, whether it's South Africa or here. Yep. Anyway, so in sum, Brendan's testimony before committee on May 11th, 2023 was a brazen attempt to knowingly and willfully testify falsely and fictitiously to material facts. We therefore make this referral to the department to examine whether any of Brendan's testimony warrants a charge for violations of Title 18 U.S. Code Section 1001. Jim Jordan. Cool. That's long overdue. Well done, Jim Jordan. That guy is awesome. The Democrats hate him. They hate him with passion. And I understand why, because he's so effective. Jim Jordan. He's a hero. My book. Anyway. Helen, you're welcome. I can't remember which one. I respond to so many emails, but you're very welcome. Most people are affected by associates working Home Depot and other retail. Oh, I haven't even gone into the fact, Bloodcope, that illegal aliens are heavily employed in the housing industry. So we have houses that cost $500,000 and $750,000 built by people who are not qualified electricians. They're not qualified masons, plumbers, carpenters, and they build houses that are shit, that are poorly paid. I mean, my house right here, I can show you. The fucking morons put the guardrail going upstairs. They put the screw in drywall, not into a stud behind the wall. So the thing ripped out of the wall. And I don't know where the stud is. I got to get a stud finder and reattach it. Morons. The highest order. They put insulation on my drainage pipe downstairs that made no sense whatsoever. So when I had a problem with the thing was hooked up improperly, the toilet on the ground floor, they had to rip all this stuff out. It just made no sense. They wired my cable box completely wrong. And for 2 years, my cable's all screwed up until Comcast fixed it for me, which was kind of them. Illegal aliens. Not qualified to do the work. Paid under the table. Now, I wasn't here when the house was constructed. But I saw them working in other houses. Immigrants come to the country legally complying with the rules set out by the country and accept it as fine. Yep, exactly. Exactly. And anyone that doesn't recognize that is being foolish. Nobody gets hurt by immigrants. Oh my gosh. I can run through a list of Americans who've been raped, murdered, robbed, and abused by these immigrants. The Ukrainian refugee stabbed to death on a public bus. Nobody gets hurt by immigrants. He was an illegal alien. He's not an immigrant. Not an immigrant. You know, Dogzilla, you know, your head's so far up your ass sometimes, it's comical. It's comical. I mean, you know, what color are your eyes? I'm just curious. Are they brown? It would explain a lot. I didn't hire anybody, dogs, so you're not listening. I didn't build the house. I bought it. Finished. You spent $12,000 home improvements. Man, I need your paycheck from Boeing. You're obviously doing very well. Children being trafficked, women being trafficked. Yeah, it's just how anybody can think that it's okay for people to come here illegally is just beyond comprehension. I mean, completely ignoring what happens to people. Anyway, whatever. No, immigrants are not illegal aliens. That's correct. Immigrants are lawful entrants into the country. They come here lawfully, and they're welcome. Very welcome. We had 76 million people visit this country last year. 76 million people came here last year. Yep. Legally. I'm not talking about the illegals. I'm talking about the legals. People who legally entered this country last year. 76 million foreign nationals came here. Some of them came more than once, but 76 million people. That's a lot. Not as many as France. France probably had over 100 and some million. Let's take a look and see. INTERNAT. VIS. I don't think they even get a handle on this now because they don't have control of their borders anymore. Let's see. Over 100 million. That's what I said. Yep. France saw a record number of international visitors in 2024, welcoming over 100 million people and generating 71 billion euros in tourism revenue. Driven by the Rugby World Cup preparations. The Rugby World Cup was in 2023, not 2024, so they're wrong about that. Preparation of 2024 Olympics, yes. Wait a second. I think the Olympics are this year, aren't they? I'm confused now. Thank you, Dogzilla. Your eyes are green and blue. Very good. Congratulations. Well, that discounts that theory. I'll have to throw that idea out the window. South African problem we have. Yeah, I know. There's lots of illegal aliens in South Africa. Yeah, you're right, Dirk. They should have turned right instead of left. Yolan says, "Goodness, what? Are you upset because of what I said?" Tommy Robinson's back in jail. Seriously? Tommy Robinson is just a convenient person for them to harm. They go after him because he's easy to get to. Okay. I don't know about the Palestinians being millionaires because they killed Israelis, but I wouldn't doubt it. But there are well over 100, 140, 170 convicted terrorists in those prisons that were released. Yeah, things are going to get bad again. Things are going to get bad again because of that. Well, we already saw. Hamas is busy executing anyone they consider to be a threat. They're murdering Palestinians. Yep. No, he was in prison. That's what I said. He's not in prison now. I thought somebody said, well, it was written as if it's present tense. The list of crimes illegal aliens goes on and on and on. Yep. What did I say? Was it on my phone? I think I saved a picture on my phone. Rhino Girl says green eyes. Blue eyes crying in the rain, folks. Blue eyes crying in the rain. Let me take a look here real quick. See if this is where I saved this image. There's a really good image. I love this one because they're playing whataboutism. Download. Nope, that's not where it's at. Screenshot. Screenshots. Maybe that's where it's at. Nope, that's not where it's at either. Interesting. Maybe it was on the computer. WhatsApp images? No, it wasn't WhatsApp. All right, maybe it's on the computer. Let me see if I saved it here. Refresh. Nope, not there either. Well, I'll be darned. I don't know where it's at. I guess it's not so important. We won't worry about that right now. But I got to tell you, folks, I know this has got to be something fishy going on, that the article on Washington Post only has not even 5,000 views. Something very fishy going on. 4,800. That's just crazy. Yep. I'm going to do shorts, man, because the shorts are doing much better. Yeah, around proposal claims BE's managed benefit. I got 15,000 on that one. For a short, that's not bad. That's 2 days ago. Huh. I'll do some more shorts. Hazel says Maze. Okay. That show is, I remember Hazel. Yep. Yeah, brown eyes are dominant. Yeah, so is dark skin pigmentation. Yep. You got to live in Northern Europe away from the sun for a long time to get so light skinned. All right, now everybody's telling us their eye color. All righty, guys. Well, now we're up to 150 people finally. When did that happen? 148 likes. That's cool. Yeah, that happened. We finally built up. It took a while to get there, I guess, because I didn't have a show last night. People are coming in late. It is after midnight here on the East Coast, 12:18 on that clock, which is wrong. Thank you, China, for not keeping time properly. It's 12:19. All right. My video on the compost was brilliant. Thank you. I hire illegal aliens willing to do the work and get the job done. Local people start with giving it. Well, that's South Africa, Richard. Yeah, no, I got you. South Africa's a very different world. I mean, so I told people, I was in Centurion. I think it was for the Soccer World Cup in 2010, FIFA World Cup. And I went to a restaurant in Centurion, right near the Protea Hotel, when they used to have water. They had a big pond there behind the pond. It was nice to go to the mall then. And I'm sitting there, and a guy came out, fantastic service. And he came out again. I said, so where are you from in Zimbabwe? He goes, how'd you know I'm Zimbabwean? I said, well, number one, you're polite. Number two, you're efficient. And number three, you're concerned about whether I get my meal or not, and you keep checking on me at the appropriate time. I mean, with good manners and efficiency, you couldn't possibly be South African. And he laughed. And I said, yeah, but I also saw your name. It's a dead giveaway. Not the surname, but his given name. Couldn't possibly be South African. You're too polite. You're too effective at your job. South African workers in the food service industry, all you get's crappy attitude, man. Crappy for most. In that same restaurant, I was there on another occasion, and there's a white guy he was fantastic service, man. He was amazing. Great work ethic. Yep. Yeah. Well, Zoom is not paying that. He doesn't pay for anything. Manny says, okay, assessment's 100%. Colonel, thank you. Well, Loretta, it's true. It's like when if you go to an insurance agency, go to the food service industry, go to a shopping center, to a mall, a store, you go to a till operator. Boy, the attitude, the pissy, shitty attitude you get from till operators in places like Pick and Pay and Checkers is just beyond belief. They are really obnoxious. Not all of them, but many of them. Some are very friendly, but the prevalence of it's just too often, So anyway, speaking of those places, I got my Pick and Pay card here, don't I? Or is it my Checkers card? I think it's a Checkers card. Where's Checkers card? It's some here. Where'd it go? Anyway, you don't need to see that. You saw it the other day anyway. So, anyway, folks, I think that's going to do it. Oh, here's the guy from Star Valley. Yeah, this is the guy my real estate agent out in Wyoming. All right, cool. All right, got 2 more days of consulting this week, and then it's starting prep for the election stuff. So there you go. All right, guys. Have a good evening. Thanks for being here. Take care of yourselves. And be sure to hit that like button on the way out the door. I do appreciate your support, patron support. By the way, once again, everyone who's given money to help Charles. Let's take a look at that real quick and see how Charles is doing on his Back a Buddy. There we go for Charles's scope. See if it went up since I looked at it. I don't know if it did. Come on, refresh. Ooh, my goodness. Rhino Girl gave 5,000 Rand. Whoa. Whoa. Rhino Girl just gave 5,000 Rand to his kid. Whoa, my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not making this up. You can see for yourself. That's not it. Come on here. I'm glad I checked before we went off. Look at that, man. 15,284, Charles. 15,284. Look at that. You don't have, maybe you won't have to be bum hurt much longer, man. Wow. Look at that. Rhino Girl, wishing you the best of luck. Praying for full recovery. God bless. Rhino Girl, that is awesome. Very generous of you. And she gave me a nice super chat too. Wow, look at that. Mitten with 100 and then Dogzilla with 100. Wow, you guys are putting me to shame, man. Putting me to shame. 5,000 Rand. My goodness. Rhino Girl is his new best buddy. Well, we can't have that. I mean, how much is, let me say, with 5,000 Rand? That's got to be at least $200 or some dollars, $250. Let me see. Calculate 5,000 Rand. 5,000 Rand divided by 18 to the Rand. That's 200. Oh, that's almost $300, man. That's almost $277. Man, that's awesome. Thank you so much for that, Rhino Girl. That's very kind of you. Guys, wow, that's awesome. So once again, I will be honest with you. What else would I be if I'm honest? I'm always honest. But I will tell you, Charles didn't want to do this. He didn't want to ask for money. And frankly, you know, Charles and I are in touch. He sends me a lot of things in chats. And it kind of slipped past me that this was that serious for Charles. I knew that he wasn't feeling well, but I didn't know that he was in this kind of distress. He didn't really tell me that. He probably told you guys in the chat, but I mean, I'm busy doing the show. I don't always see that. So he didn't want to do it, but someone set this up for him. And then I said, well, tell me about it. I mean, you know, if I can, I'll let people know about it. I don't like trying to, you know, raise money for people, but I mean, there are certain times we did. We did it for the little girl who couldn't hear, a little colored girl in the Western Cape. And I don't know the status. Anybody know the status of that? I haven't checked out that website in a while. Yeah. So, we've done it for a few other times, but this is definitely a worthy cause. Charles von Olsland is the voice of reason on the program. Now, Paulie, who watches the show but never jumps in the chat anymore, Paulie claims to be the brains behind the operation, but I'm not buying that. We don't hear from him often enough. Yeah. Now, not everybody has resources to donate. We appreciate that. This is not an effort to shame anybody to give anything. If you don't have money, don't super chat me. Don't become a member. Don't contribute to Back and Buddy. You have to take care of yourself, your family, and your obligations first and foremost. If you have the resources, it's always nice to help people. So that's just awesome, Rhino Girl. That's awesome. Man, she topped all of us. That's pretty cool. But we're still a long way to go, folks. He needs to get 80,000, and he's got 15,000 now. So 15,000 out of 80,000. Let's see where we're at. So that puts us at 15284 divided by 80,000. Is it 25% or 15%? 19%. So 1/5 of the way there. 1/5 of the way there. 163 million, not a meal, well, Powerball. Okay. Oh, Rhino Girl, thank you very much. That's correct. And that's why I read every one of these donations. Even a small donation makes a difference for people who can help for all these things. I mean, like for instance, for the people who don't have food, that I've now created the where is it at? Stansam Side Africa Minority Relief Society. Now that I'm creating that, you know, the food stocks are very inexpensive. Very expensive, and they feed people very well. And apparently they're tasty. I'll find out when I get back to South Africa, but apparently they're tasty. And now we've been able to help, I think, 4 families, maybe 5, I think it is now, who wouldn't have food otherwise. Now, at some point, probably going to have to start kicking money in that. But right now, Food Stocks is doing it with the goodness of their heart. So, her hearing is diminishing. That's terrible, Karen. That sucks. That sucks. There's something seriously wrong then. It's not just a hearing aid. That sucks. Wow. That day was amazing. We raised so much money for that little girl that day. It was amazing. You guys were so generous that day. I got it started, but that's unfair. I mean, I bring it up and I get it started and then I tell you about it. David Wilson, welcome to you. Yeah, give Rhino Girl bells. Yeah, absolutely. Alrighty, guys. Going to wrap it up here. Let me see if anybody else. Okay, Angelique sent me something, and oh man, I got 3 more messages here. I'm not going to get those tonight, folks. I do need to get to the rack. Anyway, so thank you all for being here tonight and for hitting the like button, if you don't mind. I do appreciate that. And where are we at? Over here. So. People started disappearing already, but most of you are still here. 165 likes. Both words are in Africa. Oh, that's old. That thing is way old. Come on. Oh, she hasn't had the operation. Oh, geez. Well, that sucks, Karen. Okay, thanks for keeping us updated. Yep. Yeah, that's heartbreaking. All right. When I get to South Africa, I'll have to follow up on it and see how she's doing. Okay. You guys take care, all right? Thanks for being here. Have a good day. Good night for those here in the U.S., and appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, from the East Coast to the West Coast, from over on this side where Mike is at, to the west side to the middle where we've got Dan and we've got Courtney, and I haven't seen her tonight, but Miss Mulman is not here tonight. And then off to the West Coast where we've got Light Rain and Dogzilla. Thank you all so much for being here. Appreciate it. Cheers, everybody, and have a good night.